Good afternoon. I'm Dominic Lombardi, and it's a pleasure to be here with Soren and Ever Johnson to share about Heaven in Your Home and Trinity House. Soren and Ever, it's been interesting to follow the development of your Trinity House community and all the Heaven in Your Home initiatives. To be honest, Heaven in Your Home sounds a little overly lofty. Catholic and Christian families are struggling just to get by in a pretty toxic culture. Why wouldn't they just roll their eyes when they hear Heaven in Your Home?
Yeah. Look, with 5 young kids at home, we get it. There's so much coming at parents today. The busy schedules, the financial worries, the toxic culture, it can be overwhelming. But we are staying focused on a simple fact that is giving us so much hope, and that is that parents are already much closer to finding heaven in their home than they may realize. And that's because every family is a reflection of the persons of God, the communion of persons that we see in the Holy Trinity. So already, every family has a head start. Now, we know that our culture offers its own image of heaven, whether that be power, comfort, image, control, and we've all bought that to some extent. We've tasted how empty that is. So that's why we're excited that when families get serious about building their Trinity house, when they get serious about reflecting the other-centered life of God, that things really start to happen.
Well, that's a fascinating concept, but it still sounds pretty theoretical. How does the ministry help families where they're at in the trenches of everyday life?
Good question, and that's kind of why we're here, because 20 years ago when we set out to have a family, can't say anyone gave us a roadmap and said, here's how you do this. We just, we had each other, we had our faith, and our families were supportive, but we did not have sort of practical day-to-day guidance to say, okay, guys, this is how you build a faith-filled home, and this is how you have a happy marriage and healthy kids, and here's kind of the whole picture of what you have to look forward to, but don't worry about this part, think about that. They just didn't know what we were doing, just like probably most young couples were just kind of deer in the headlights, and then started having children, and of course the exhaustion and the busyness. So it's very hard to sort out your thoughts about what your higher goals are once you're in it. So we said, let's take our experiences and try to create a roadmap for families. And we're just inviting them, check out our quick start guide. It's on our website. And then we have these weekly letters that come to give you inspiration from our experience about all the different aspects of building out your own Trinity house.
Okay, that sounds more practical. So if a family reads these weekly letters, does that give them everything they need to build a Trinity house?
Well, building a Trinity house is really a lifelong project. But in the Heaven in Your Home workshop, which we offer, it's 1 hour long in 4 15-minute segments. What we do is we give you the map to find heaven in your home. And we also give you the motivation to stay focused along the way. And finally, we offer the 5 levels of your Trinity house with the doorways that you use to enter into each of those levels and the tools you use to build them out. So we are inviting parents to learn from our mistakes, from our journey in parenting, and really seeing this simple, intuitive approach based on the communion of persons, on the life of God, which we are all invited to reflect in our daily life.
So great, you get the blueprint and tools from the workshop, but we all know that systems are only as good as what you put into practicing them.
Yeah.
But family life is already notoriously overwhelming. What do you do to keep families motivated?
Well, Dominic, this is just really the heart of the problem. It's easy to have ideals, but it's probably even easier to just let them fall by the wayside while you're just reacting to life and all of its busyness and all of its trials. So the accountability piece is kind of everything. It's key. You need a monthly date on your calendar where you sit down and go, okay, focus on the big picture. What are we doing to make progress in building our Trinity House? So we have these Heaven in Your Home monthly gatherings in our parish where we invite families to come and hear different people in the community give presentations on their own experiences. Very short because the kids are invited, but it kind of leads to the more important part, which is families and small groups together discussing their experiences with that topic. And that's just what people really love, to get that support and encouragement that they need, that just very needed monthly accountability.
Great. So it looks like you've shared these tools with hundreds of families. What kind of difference is it making? Is it moving the needle?
What we're really finding is that parents are having an aha moment as they grasp how their family life reflects the very life of God in its other-centered view of life. Parents are really seeing an intuitive framework here to organize their family life. They're putting it on the fridge to be reminded on a daily basis. They're saying that this workshop and the e-letters have helped them to refocus on what's most important. We're seeing parents really make a big move through these little daily steps, the family meal, the family prayer together, honoring the Sabbath in their family life. The Lord moves the needle. We're here to encourage and to equip, but Ever and I are so hopeful about the renewal we are seeing in individual Trinity houses, individual families, as they move forward in faith.
So tell me more about Trinity House Cafe in Old Town, Leesburg, Virginia. How's that connected to your mission to families?
Well, Trinity House Cafe, that's kind of our public model of a Catholic home, where we try to just inspire people by serving them. It's on the corner of Church and Market Street in downtown Leesburg, just right across from the courthouse. And it's a counter service cafe with a full espresso bar. And we are in a really lovely historic home, so it has that kind of Christian home-like feel. A lot of people in our community really enjoy coming to Trinity House, and they say they feel that good energy there, or encounter a spirit of peace there. I feel like so much of what we try to do or think about doing in the church is based on ideas and telling people ideas, or reading books, or having conferences and trying to argue our way out of the problems that our culture is in. But a lot of that can be resolved by people just being together and centered on one another and serving one another. And I think when you do that and you have that kind of community, a lot of the problems of isolation and alienation and division in our culture just they just disappear, because they're not as powerful as we think they are.
Some of our listeners might be thinking they're interested in hearing more. What's the next step?
Well, we invite everyone to check out our website at trinityhousecommunity.org to sign up for our e-letter and download our Quick Start Guide to really take that first step. But we also invite couples to consider our Heaven in Your Home workshop. It's 4 15-minute sections that really take you through all the ins and outs of building your Trinity house, the challenges you'll face, and it really helps you to keep you focused on the big picture as well as the practical strategies. And as Ever said, we just really need that monthly accountability and fellowship with other parents. So we invite couples to be part of our Heaven in Your Home monthly gatherings, and to learn more at trinityhousecommunity.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ever and Soren, for sharing about Trinity House and Heaven in Your Home. We look forward to hearing more about it.
Thanks, Dominic.
Thank you so much, Dominic.